Yeah, it's a moth. I acquire first name. We're gonna get into this covenant, man, a blood covenant, contractual agreement the Israelites made with the Most High. Exodus 24, 3 through 8. Check it out yourself. See your end of the bargain with the Most High. Yo. The Most High showed us love, we showed it back in blood. He set us above all nations. Without hesitation, we took the occupation, not knowing what we was facing, a life and death situation. Feel a joy and elation, through faith and patience. Wield my shield against Satan, embrace the real bro. I get a taste of the steel toe, nighty night on the pillow. Amalekites are as fake as dildos, and honey's checking out my billfold. But I'm broken, busted, especially when I start to discuss it. The way my people trusting in oppression is straight disgusting. Plant seeds and watch them take root. Get these shoulders popping in the city like it's Beirut. Now get down and grab a share plow, get to working. Government's telling lies and straight jerking. Church ain't working, money's hurting, and Satan's lurking. And what's the answer? These niggas acting like babies, need to change their pampers. Stop the dirty laundry, close the hamper. Open the word and get fed. I'm dead to the world, bring the truth to light, and let's get these sheep and herds. Let's get these sheep, y'all. Come on. We live in a world of lies, corrupt cops and government. Only problem is you loving it. Enter the zone where the loss is prevalent. And don't be hesitant. Recognize the contract, the blood covenant. We live in a world of lies, corrupt cops and government. Only problem is you loving it. Enter the zone where the loss is prevalent. And don't be hesitant. Recognize the contract, the blood covenant. I'm back with a vengeance. Take a spleen and appendix and leave the rest for forensics. The work is splendid. My double-edged blade is my apprentice. And don't get split. Keep it holy with the military etiquette. In a land of confusion, we go through persecution, looking for restitution, popping shots at each other, needle shooting, and we think the solution is looting. Religion equals mind pollution, rolling us off, flossing and cruising on the Sabbath to get you a bruising. Now don't get hurt, stop below, route the curve at Lamert, and listen to us. The covenant, 24th chapter Exodus, ash to ashes and dust to dust, in the realm where the heathen get crushed, from the new to the old veterans. And who you claim that you better than? There's no touching the kid, let's scrap the Teflon lettering. It's a covenant. Let's go. We live in a world of lies, corrupt cops and government. Only problem is you loving it. Enter the zone where the loss is prevalent. And don't be hesitant. Recognize the contract, the blood covenant. We live in a world of lies, corrupt cops and government. Only problem is you loving it. Enter the zone where the loss is prevalent. And don't be hesitant. Recognize the contract, the blood covenant.
All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, while Yahweh Shah. It's your brother Ahmath. I acquire first name, IQ. It's all the same. You reach another episode. DSTM, don't shoot the messenger. Live and in the flesh, we here. Shabbat shalom, 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 peace, welcome. All that good stuff, man. Got a good one for y'all this evening. Prayerfully, everybody is well. If you're doing all right on this Shabbat, man, and the Lord has got you to your rest, throw a 7 in the chat, man. Spread love. Spread love. Why not? Right? Spread a little love. Let it be known. You dig what I'm saying? It's rough out here. It's rough out here, man. So if everybody's good, man, let me know. Let me know. All right. Throw a 7 in the chat. Wait. Did he really say that? Did my ears deceive me? Did my eyes deceive me? The Agent Orange just go off the cliff again and say some foolishness that no one can relate to. People are scratching their heads. Edomites are losing their mind, going straight ballistic and AWOL from MAGA because of his folly and foolishness and lies. You wondering what did he say? Don't worry, we're going to talk about it. All right. Look like we got some 7s in the chat. All praises, man. If you've not already, you already know what time it is. And you know what I'm going to ask. I'm going to panhandle a little bit. We'll teach and we'll prophesy for a little wiper than of the feet. That's all. That's all. You know what I'm saying? So if you could just kindly do your brother solid. If you haven't already, man, hit that like button. Let the algorithm know that you actually are engaged with this video this evening and this live. And prayerfully, it will, create an algorithm for those looking for similar content. They may even be kind and notify some of the subscribers, let it be known, hey, MOTC is live. Another episode of DSTM is in effect. Tap in. Dig what I'm saying? So another day in Babylon, right? So we've got multiple things that we need to discuss, right? Agent Orange says that he's in complete control. Netanyahu is going to do and does whatever he tells him, if you can believe that. He says that the gas prices right now are peanuts, and everybody just needs to sit back and relax. Don't worry, he's in full control, right? Short-term pain, long-term gain. He's pushing that down the pipeline again. 2 terrorist attacks this week. Just another day in Babylon. You feel me? I mean, the stock market and all of his stock buddies and the Epstein cult are all clocking big money off of this war, clocking big money off of the shakedowns of other nations, while the rest of the po folk, as they say, are out here struggling, trying to figure out, are they going to go and buy now, pay later some groceries, or are they going to go pay their phone bill? You dig what I'm saying? So all kind of madness is going on at this point. So let's get into a few things, man, and more, right? And more. Let's not even stop there. Chemical plant leaked and had an issue going on over here in Garden Grove. Ebola. The WHO is saying, oh, this, Ebola is that outbreak is getting ready to be the new thing. I guess the hantavirus didn't catch on as fast as well as they thought. So it's Ebola. Ebola is back, and your man Bill Gates is fully involved. Oh yeah, we tracked him down. His dirty fingerprints is all over this thing. We got a lot to talk about, man. We're about to watch and get into it all. All right. Let's start off here. Hold on. Let me share my screen correctly. Let's do it like this. And let's get to Sirach 39. And let's look at this first. Sirach 39:1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof. Right. So 2 things that the Lord said, how prophecies or when or how someone should be occupying their time, their mind, is when they give their mind over to the law of the Most High and occupy the meditation thereof. Joshua tells us the same thing. Joshua 1:8, right? It says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Now, you got to think about this. Now, it says, meditate therein day and night. Does that mean that you have to be like a complete monk and you have to just constantly meditate the law, the commandment, Exodus? So, no. What it means is that your meditation or your thought patterns should be directed by the Bible throughout your days and in your evenings. Let the Bible be the thing that helps guide your way, your do's, your don'ts, your wisdom, your understanding, your knowledge base when you're dealing and interacting in this world. That don't mean you sitting in the closet and you just trying to memorize and meditate scriptures all day and night. No, when your meditation, when your thought patterns, when your manifestation of thought is supposed to be surrounded around the book of the law, and that's supposed to be your guiding light day and night. That thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For instance, you go to the store and you're going to go buy, your groceries or whatever, and you see a new product that you might like. You don't just grab it and throw it into the cart. What do? I need to look and see what's in this to make sure that it's lawful, right? Very simple. That's part of your meditation. That's part of your thought process, right? And it says, for then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. So no success comes by any other ways besides going according to the law of the Most High, right? Let me get one more in Proverbs 3. So remember, it said that that's what we're supposed to do. Now, secondly, Not even secondly. First, really, is this. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. It says, trust in Yahweh with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. You know what happened when we leant to our own understanding? Cargo slave ships. You know what happened when we went on our own understanding? Lynchings, hangings, burnings, tar and feathering, getting hunted down by dogs, ripped apart by, quartering by horseback, getting sliced up and down by the swords of the conquistadors and shot in the streets by ICE agents, got us locked up in prison houses, as Jeremiah told us. That's what happens when we lean to our own understanding. Living in squalor, having to go buy rat traps and roach hotels and buying raid because you got to live with insects and vermin in the projects, in the ghettos, in the favelas, in the barrios. You understand? That's what happens when we try to do our own thing, constantly being oppressed, begging our enemies for everything that we need. But when we were trusting in Yahweh with all our heart and didn't lean to our own understanding, He led the way. He took the wheel. He guided us into a kingdom of peace. During the time of Solomon, 40 years, we had good success. Nations coming bringing tributes. Everybody knew their place and knew their role. That was peace. David had the nations under subjection, but he had hell in his household. He had intertribal warfare going on with him and Saul. So that wasn't even really it, even though David was the greatest king within Israel. A man who the Most High said is a man after his own heart. But when we fully subject ourselves to the Most High, then we're going to have great success and not leading to our own understanding. Verse 6, in all thy ways acknowledge him and he shall direct thy paths, right? So this is what we're doing. We got to submit ourselves, humble ourselves to allow the Most High to guide us in this walk, especially now. Now ain't the time to get feeble-minded, feeble-handed. Now's the time to strengthen up, gird up, because the times are going to only get more evil, more wicked, more seductive, right? Isn't that what Yoda said in Empire Strikes Back? When Luke asked him, he says, is the dark side more powerful? He said, no. Evil, faster, more seductive, right? I'm kind of rough quoting that, but that's what he said, is that the dark side is just more seductive, is more tempting. And you thinking, hey, let me just go ahead on and cross over, man. Forget it. Tired of waiting. Oh, that new doctrine over there. Oh, that sounds more plausible. That rests easier within my spirit. I don't like having to, deal with, bashing the heathen, or I don't like that whole separatist part. Oh, I don't like the supremacist type of narrative that, the Israelites be. I always came from the church background where everybody got along to get along and love everybody. And I'm more comfortable with that. Whether it's that or whether it's, another doctrine over here. So, yeah, it's okay. Roll up, smoke. It's all good. It's anything you want is out there within this within this community. And people are falling and going off to and fro, losing their path, losing their way. But all they need to do is humble themselves, give their mind to the law of the Most High, meditate therein day and night, because then you're going to have good success. Allow the Most High to direct your paths, and you'll be good. Verse 1 of Sirach 39. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecy. If anybody's talking about anything outside of this, like at this point in time, you got to question their motives. Because the Lord said that the one thing that somebody should be doing right now is keeping their mind to the law of the Most High, occupying themselves in the meditation thereof, and then also seek out the wisdom of the ancients, meaning go dig in and understand what the prophecies of what our ancient forefathers was doing, how they were living, how they were walking during the times of their affliction, their oppression, during the times of their subjugation to the nations. Find out and learn the wisdom that they had. Try to incorporate it in your life, and then also be occupied in the prophecies of what's going on. You don't want to miss the show. Don't want to miss a show. Sirach 5, verse 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorant is not an excuse. Chris Rock had a great joke when he said, man, black folks love not to know. Our quick defense mechanism is, nigga, I don't know, man. Leave me alone. I don't know. Like that doesn't fly in the kingdom of the Most High. That doesn't fly in the realms of us learning and understanding who we are according to the scriptures. You have to know. Knowledge is power, as they say. Be not ignorant in anything, in a great matter or small. Nothing to be neglected. Nothing to be neglected. Right? Let's get a couple more. Sirach 12, verse 3. It says, there can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. Sometimes people be trying to wonder, well, how come the Most High ain't blessed me? How come I ain't got the Spirit? How come I'm struggling? How come I'm stagnated in it? Check your walk. See what you're doing. This is why Agent Orange in America is going to constantly be occupied and complete. That no good is going to come to this nation. No good is going to come to this administration. No good is going to come to the rest of the world because why? They're occupied in evil. It's a simple formula that the Most High acknowledged. He said, no good can come to him that's always occupied in evil. The Trump administration, they're continually occupied in evil. I mean, the man just had the Supreme Court ruling that his family now is exempt from IRS audits for life. Essentially making himself the supreme Caesar dictator. Caesar ain't subject to taxes. Look, you think, hold on, what's that, Luke 3? I said Luke 3. Good Lord. Is it Luke? I think you had Luke 3. No, it's 2. Luke 2 and 1. It says, and it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made by Cyrenius, was governor of Syria. And all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city. So do you think Caesar was paying taxes himself? Or do you think that everybody was paying taxes just to him in the Roman Empire? Yeah, you already know the answer. Ain't no different than the tributes and the monies that was getting paid under the Greeks, under Antiochus, and under Alexander the Freak, and Ptolemy and Cassander, and all of them. All of them was getting tribute and getting money brought to them. The temple was had to pay a temple tax. Everybody they was all getting theirs. Me and Aladab were just talking about that the other day. About how damn evil this place is, where you get paid, right? But you do not get your paycheck until he gets his cut first. The Godfather got to get his cut. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's damn near extortion. Oh, you got to pay the taxes. How else are we going to get the roads paved? I don't know how many damn tires I done went through from the jacked up roads out here in the streets. I've been out there rolling around in Detroit. I mean, they ain't touched them streets since 1895, probably. Them streets is jacked up out there. And I'm sure everybody else in every other inner city can say, our roads ain't paved like they are in other communities. Oh, we got to pay for the education. Oh, meanwhile, he's cutting education. He's cutting Medicare, cutting Medicaid, cutting all of these other little safety net programs, cutting down the SNAP benefits and Meals on Wheels and all that other stuff. So where the hell's the damn tax money going? Oh, you're getting taxed now to pay for the ballroom, taxed now to pay for the war. So you're paying all these damn taxes. You get your money, you pay, you work, whatever, 80, 90 hours a week. He gets his cut first. Then you got to go file for taxes. And many of us end up having to pay and owing taxes again. It's like, God, you just took all the taxes out of my damn check. And then when I got to file and report all of my earnings to you, you hit me again and say, give me more. Tell me this place ain't wicked. Good Lord. Sirach 12:3, there can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth alms. That's why alms, the scriptures say, man, alms delivereth from death. Alms covers a multitude of sins. So it's very important to also have a charitable mind and a charitable heart when it comes down to your alms and what you do for your brothers and your sisters, and you helping those that are in need. Okay. And you're helping also to help forward, the work and the efforts that brothers and sisters in particular sacrifice for the greater parts of the nation. Jeremiah 28:9, the prophet which prophesy of peace, verse 8 is what I want. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. The pedigree of a prophet is to do these particular things. Prophesy against many countries, against great kingdoms, of war, evil, and pestilence. That's what the prophets before us did. Not like I just seen a video of what's the cat that runs the 2819 church, Philip Anthony something. He's riding around trying to act like a YN on a little tour in the hood in Chicago, eating food, eating pizza and eating damn hot dogs and riding around with a couple other little cats with him, trying to be hip and cool, got his beanie on and his bubble coat on and out there, yeah, this is fire, man. And I'm like, he out there trying to act like a damn YN on the low. You would think he's a nigga on the street. But then he's on the pulpit telling you that the prophets or the disciples was cowards. I seen the video, he said that. Because they allowed Christ to be arrested and subdued, not knowing that that was prophecy, not knowing that when Peter cut off the ear of the servant of the high priest, and Yahweh Shai said, "Put that sword away, man. It's got to go down like that." Peter, what's wrong with you? I mean, these guys all over the place. That's a whole nother thing. But he damn sure ain't doing this. And many of our people within these pulpits is not doing this. There's some within our own and within this community in Israel aren't doing this. So you got to question and say, well, what work of the prophets are they doing? What pattern of works are they following? Remember, the scripture said in Sirach 39 that you're going to study the wisdom of the ancients. Well, the prophets was doing this particular type of work, exposing these things, putting our people up on these particular principles, making sure that they're staying aware and not being ignorant of any matter, small or great. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what we do. This is what I do. This is the purpose of DSTM. And this is why we got to say, did Agent Orange, did he really say that, man? Okay, let's get to it. I'm not going to hold y'all no longer. I told y'all try to find a lie a week. Now, this isn't technically a lie, but it is very misleading. And I think we all can say, you full of shh. Don't say it, IQ. Don't say it. The bots are listening. YouTube is waiting to further shadow ban the damn account even more. Did he really say this? Okay, here you go. See, they want to play games. All right, hold on.
Okay, stay calm. Conference final time.
What have you said to Prime Minister Netanyahu about Iran and how long to hold off on strike?
He's fine. He'll do whatever I want him to do. He's a very, very good man.
Now you know he's foolish when he starts his Johnny Two Times. I think that's the cat's name from Goodfellas. If you ever seen that movie, you remember the scene where Henry and all them go into the famous little club while the little Italian gangsters hanging, and he said, "Oh, there goes Jimmy Two Times." They're like, "Why does he say that? Why do you call him that?" And he was like, "Oh, because he says everything twice." And as soon as he walked past him, he got up and said, "I'm gonna go get the papers. I'm gonna get the papers." So every time he says something twice, it's either to convince himself or to try to, lose somebody in. They used to say Kamala had word salad. He be mixing up his own little spice blend of word salad, because watch how many times he repeats himself in this.
What have you said to Prime Minister Netanyahu about Iran and how long to hold off on strikes?
He's fine. He'll do whatever I want him to do. He's a very, very good man. He'll do whatever I want him to do. And he's a great guy. To me, he's a great guy.
3.
Don't forget, he was a wartime prime minister. And he's not treated right in Israel, in my opinion. I'm right now at 99% in Israel. I could run for prime minister. So maybe after I do this.
Did you hear this maniac? First of all, he says Netanyahu is fine. He'll do whatever I want him to do when it comes to Iran. He's the whole reason why you're in this war right now. What the hell are you talking about? He's running around being the mouthpiece for Netanyahu. How do we know that? Netanyahu's been saying for the last 30 plus years, Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. Iran is 2 weeks away from having a nuclear weapon. We got to stop them. Iran's got a nuclear weapon. We got to stop. Now, what is he saying? We can't allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. We can't have whole hand up his rectum, puppeteering out of his mouth. He's saying Netanyahu is going to do whatever he tells him. Who believes that? He's completely controlled and compromised. Notice, and this is directly after them files got released at the end of last year, leading into January, and the next February got to go to war. And now ain't nobody talking about the files no more. He's completely compromised. Now he says he's a great guy. He's not getting treated well in Israel, in my opinion. What? All right, let me let it go.
I'll go to Israel, run for prime minister.
Now he's trolling. Or he really believes his swollen ego. He says he's 99. He don't even. What poll is he looking at? In America, you under 30% approval rating. And you saying in Israel, you got a 99% approval rating? You might go run for prime minister over there? This dude is on crack, man. They left some of that. They must have left some of that white girl. They left some of that white girl. Biden and what's her name? Hunter Biden and Slow Biden left some of that white girl in the Oval Office. So I'm convinced. And they left weed up in there. Remember, they found both substances in the White House, man, in the trap house. He rolled it up, man. He's smoking Primos right now. He's losing his mind. The dude said he can go to Israel. He'll be the prime minister. 99% approval. What poll is he looking at?
I'm right now at 99% in Israel. I could run for prime minister.
He just says I'm 99% in Israel. 99% what? What are you talking about? You just make it. Okay, let me stop.
Maybe after I do this, I'll go to Israel, run for prime minister. I had a poll this morning. I'm 99%. So that's good. But no,
yeah, they repeated that again. Okay.
Prime minister. I just don't think they treat him well. I think they have a president over there that treats him very poorly.
You're on the same page with him on Iran?
Yeah.
Mr. President, on the Iran deal, would you be open to a limited deal that just covered the Strait of Hormuz?
What does that mean?
On Iran, just a limited.
See, he's fading into Slow Biden. She asked him a straight up question about the Strait of Hormuz. He said, what does that mean? What are you talking about? Now watch what he says after this, though. Let me back it up because he's lost in the sauce. Too busy talking to himself.
On Iran?
Yeah.
Mr. President, on the Iran deal, would you be open to a limited deal that just covered the Strait of Hormuz?
What does that mean?
On Iran, just a limited deal just for a longer ceasefire.
We'd have to open the strait. That would open immediately. So we're going to give this one shot. I'm in no hurry. You never think, the midterms, I'm in a hurry. I'm in no hurry. Ideally, I'd like to see few people killed as opposed to a lot.
So he says he's in no hurry, but he'd like to see a few people unalived, and he's not tripping about the midterms. Of course not, because why? They're passing laws in the South to damn near restrict the black vote, redistricting, whole counties, swiping up votes all over the damn place. This dude's wild.
We can do it either way, but I'd like to see a few people killed.
I'd like to see a few people killed. I mean, this dude. Oh, hold on. Let me see. What's that scripture? I think it's in Habakkuk 2. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Let's look at this one. This ain't the exact one I wanted, but this will work. Habakkuk 2 and verse 12. It says, "Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood." Right? Now he's saying, I'd like to see a few people killed. Now, he's been on record since the 80s talking about how he would love to go in there and snatch up the oil from Iran. Right? But how's he going to do it? It's got to be built on bloodshed. What are they talking about building up over there in Gaza? A whole new oasis. I forgot what they call it, the Paradise Project, the Ben Gurion Canal, and everything else on the backs and the blood of the damn Ishmaelites over there. How did they build up and establish this place? Is they getting ready to have a quote unquote Memorial Day to celebrate from the vast wars and the destruction and the death that they've been, wreaking havoc across the world, wanting to be acknowledged and say, hey, we're the peacekeepers, we're the democracy, we're trying to help everybody. But meanwhile, the Vietnam War was started on a lie. You drop hydrogen atomic bombs on Japan. You done had a whole false narrative set up on Afghanistan for 21 years. Went to war over there, seized the poppy fields, got involved with the heroin trade. How about Nicaragua and Oliver North and the CIA scandal with them selling weapons for drugs, and Rick Ross and them funneling drugs over here? How about that? Want to memorialize that? How about Operation Fast and Furious and Obama sending guns down to the cartels, claiming they were going to track them and trace them so they can bust the cartels, and didn't come of that but more death and destruction and mayhem and more drug dealing? Are we going to memorialize that? I mean, what are we talking about? Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and established a city by iniquity. That's all they want to do. Constantly going around colonizing. They're getting ready to, they're threatening to go and invade Cuba right now. They just indicted Raul Castro, 94. What is it? 94-year-old old man talking, and indicted him from unaliving from 1996, and using that as grounds to go and invade Cuba, just like they did Maduro, claiming he's a drug kingpin. We got to go raid that and go grab up and colonize that and do a regime change over there. We need a regime change in Cuba. We need a regime change in Ecuador. We need a regime change in Colombia, regime change in Iran. I mean, they call the shots on all of this stuff. Woe to him that buildeth the town with blood. And that's all that they're trying to do. He said it twice. I want to see a few people dead. Now listen to him again.
Old banks hit you with big fees. Not
Listen to this maniac. Mouth wide open, man. That open sepulture. He getting ready to spew out some more foolishness.
Look, as soon as this war is over, gas is going to, I had gasoline down to $1.85.
See, he can't help but stroke his ego, man. They asking him, is he concerned? Just like last week when he said he doesn't think about the American people's finances. He don't think about their pockets. He ain't tripping about none of that. The only thing he's concerned about is Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. You said no sound? Hold on. Let me back it up.
As soon as this war is over, gas is going to, I had gasoline down to $1.85 in Iowa.
Now, can you hear it now, all of that? I didn't change nothing. Let me know if y'all can hear it. Don't tell me I've been sitting over here just playing this and y'all can't hear it this whole time. Before I go on, make sure y'all can hear it. They asked him about is he concerned about the gas prices right now and what it's doing to people. He's talking about okay, come maybe it's you out of that, but they asked him about the gas prices. Let's hear his answer.
As soon as this war is over, gas is going to, I had gasoline down to $1.85 in Iowa. I was in Iowa, and the stations had it at $1.85. But I was down to, in many cases, less than $2 a barrel, a gallon. And then I said to myself, this is great. We just hit a new high in the stock market. Everything's going good. I'm sorry, but we have to go down and take a little journey down to, we have to do something with Iran. We cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. You want to see the world exploded?
Who gave him that line to say? So you heard him. He says, oh, gas prices. As soon as he starts to talking, what's he do? He starts talking about himself. Yeah, gas. Hey, right now gas is up, but hey, I had gas down to $1.85 in Iowa. Mother effer, who's in Iowa? Minus the small 10 tribe population in the the reservations. There's a little population of Southern Kingdom as well. Some of them transplant from Chicago, but the vast majority of Iowa is damn Esau. And you had to been in some little backwoods spot for $1.85. Ain't nobody seen that. Come on, man. You trying to tell me you got out and pumped the gas at $1.85? Get up out of here, man. This dude said, I had a gas done $1.85, $2, and that was a long time ago. Long time ago. And what? When he was bragging, the national average was at over $3 and some change. That was a national average according to AAA. It wasn't no $1.82. Come on, man. But let him finish.
$1.85. But I was down to, in many cases, less than $2 a barrel, a gallon. And then I said to myself,
and he's up to some. I'm gonna let it play. I'm gonna let it play. But he's up to some foolishness, man. This is how the damn magicians and the illusions get to talk. When they get to talking with their hands, you understand what I'm saying? It's like 3-card money. Your eyes can't see what the hand is doing. If you watch the hand, when he get to doing this, like he pumping something up with his hand. Watch my hands. Don't listen to my lips. He's finna lie.
This is great. We just hit a new high in the stock market. Everything's going good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry too. I didn't mean to stop it again. You know what they do? Didn't he just get rid of Pam Bondi for getting flamed up and roasted in that damn congressional hearing? When they was on her butt cheeks about the Epstein files and what happened with that, and what she default to. What are we talking about? The stock market is doing great. S&P is over 500. The money, it was like, bro, we talking about underage children being unalive, disappeared, sacrificed, getting touched on. You understand? Thank you. All right, let him finish.
In the stock market, everything's going good. I'm sorry, but we have to go down and take a little journey down to, we have to do something with Iran. We cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. You want to see the world exploded? You want to see a problem? And this is peanuts. And I appreciate everybody putting up with it for a little while. It won't be much longer. But you're going to have, and frankly, there is so much oil out there.
Really? Oh, I thought it was about the nuclear weapon. Oh, it's about the oil, huh? He said that back in '88, but he's still selling this lie about, it's the nuclear weapon. I mean, hell, you said that the nuclear weapon and the foundation got destroyed last year in Operation Midnight Hammer. I thought they didn't have nothing left. You done told us that the war was over 30 times in the last 2 months. So I guess we just spoke. Don't worry, it's going to be over soon. Just hang in there. it's peanuts. What? You trying to tell me that when I travel downtown or I see and hearing up north, gas is $7 to $8. That's peanuts? Listen, I sympathize with brothers and sisters that's in different states. Out here in LA, don't bring up no gas price to us. When you talking about, man, gas is $4.30. Gas is, man, I can't believe it. I'm paying $4 a gallon. Hey, look, man, boost that up to 619, 625, 659, 730, 819 in these places. You understand? And the problem is we got a separate gas tax out here. They charging us taxes for the pave the road, all kind of foolishness. And here he is talking about it's peanuts. So yeah, he said it. He said it, and he said he can be the prime minister of Israel. He said he got all of this.
Look.
All right, look, another lie. What did he say? Look at this: F-15s, F-35, MQ-9 Reaper drones. The U.S. report says 42 aircraft were lost in the Iran war. They've been saying that they ain't had no casualties, ain't no problems. Iran is the one taking all the L's. Iran is the one that lost everything. But I know for 479 is bad news out there. That's equivalent to our $6-7 out here. Because when we was out there, gas was like $3 and some change. We was like, good Lord, y'all in heaven out here. But now they're coming out with the report saying, hey, you know what? We're letting the truth out. Iran is actually rebuilding all the damages to their bunkers and into their defense system. They're rebuilding those things within 24 and 48 hours. They definitely still got missiles and bombs and drones and everything else. I don't know what Agent Orange is out here talking about. Orangutan is out there flapping them lips over here lying. 42 aircraft. Now you see why Hegseth and them is running to the Congress saying, we need more money. We need more money. More defense spending. 6 trillion dollars. We need the 200 some odd million up front right now. Now look at this. They got to replace these. First, they got to replace the missile defense systems that they've been wearing out and losing. Now they got lost F-15 and F-35 and drones. They getting their butts handed to them over there, and they over there lying. Look at this. At least 42 United States military aircraft, including fighter jets and drones, have been lost or damaged during the war in Iran. According to an official report, the losses may increase due to multiple factors, including classification, ongoing combat activity, and attribution, said the report of the Congressional Research Service. Recently, the Pentagon declared that the cost of military operations against Iran under Operation Epic Fury has already climbed to nearly $29 billion, and America is already damn near $40 trillion in debt. You might as well classify as bankrupt at this point. At this point, $29 million. I mean, $29 billion. And then you're $13 trillion already in the hole. I mean, what am I saying? 40 trillion in the hole. 29 billion. Here they are on your case because you missed a car payment. Here they are, they're on your case because you didn't pay your rent on time. Here they are on your case because you didn't pay the credit card bill. You had to finance some groceries. You had to max out your credit card to fill up the tank so you can get to work. You dig what I'm saying? And here they are talking about finances. Only thing they're ready to do and want to do is fund war. But that's the spirit of Esau, man. What do they say? He's going to live by the sword in Genesis 27:41. That's all he knows. Now look at this matters, man. You tell me if this ain't corrupt. We read Luke 2 earlier. But look at it. IRS to drop audits of Trump and family. You thought the Biden crime family was bad. You thought the Clintons was on some wickedness. The Bushes, I mean, they all live by the same rules, man. They all live by the same rules: corruption, wickedness, covetousness, idolatry. White collar crimes to the max. Because you got to wonder, man, how does a man have 6 bankruptcies on deck and still be a billionaire, still be a trusted businessman, still have 2 runs at being the president when you've got a list of the damn casinos you filed bankruptcy for and the house always wins? How does that work? IRS to drop audits of Trump and family. As part of the Justice Department's deal, officials vowed not to pursue any matters, including those involving President Trump's tax returns that are pending. Remember, they was on his case when he was running, that they wanted to audit all of his tax returns, and he was holding them off and held them off until he got elected in 2016. Then he did it again. Now he's got them to completely drop any and all audits for him and all of his relatives. So any shady business deals that any of his sons got going on, anything going on with Melania, anything going on with Jared Kushner, all that, his whole family is under tax exemption now. That's the works of a Caesar. That's the works of a dictator. To keep it real, Justice Department has granted President Trump, his family, and businesses immunity from ongoing inquiries into their taxes, a potentially lucrative arrangement that could shield the president from significant financial liability. Isn't that nice? How much money has he already calculated since he's been president? In a year and 6 months? Damn near 6 months. In the billions? From the Trump coin to the Trump sneakers to the Trump Bibles to the what do you have? The Trump crypto rolling over, got the damn $400 million jet from Qatar. I mean, this dude is out here rolling in dough. And this is why he said, I'm in no rush. Hey, that's peanuts. What you paying for gas? Hey, deal with it. You'll be all right. He's bankrolling, man, setting his family up for what do they call it? Generational wealth. Before he's out the picture, before he's ghost. And then they're going, carry on. The provision quietly inserted on Tuesday as a supplement to a remarkable deal that also created a $1.8 billion fund aimed at benefiting Mr. Trump's allies, protects the president, his relatives, and businesses from pending audits and tax prosecutions. The one-page document signed by the acting Attorney General Todd Bland said that the government would, quote, forever barred and precluded from prosecuting or pursuing pending tax claims against Mr. Trump, his family members, and businesses. How the hell does his family members get his businesses? All of them, they said, man, IRS, hands off. You can't touch us. We're going to do whatever we want to do. That's corruption at its highest. That's evil at its highest. Listen, this is what, when Daniel said this in Daniel 8, they said, man, he out here, 8:25. It says that through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. What's a craft? Craft is the lies. Craft is a subtlety. Craft is the evil. Through his policies of evil, corruption, lies, that causes prosperity in his hands. More money, more money, more money. Remember that from In Living Color? More money. And he shall magnify himself in his heart. Notice how he's living in the same spirit as Antiochus and living in the same spirit of Caesar, Caligula, all of them. The rulership class of Esau all has the same thing. Exalting themselves as God. I got something I'm going to show y'all in the coming weeks regarding the White House artwork that's in there. If anybody has any disbeliefs that this place is not modern day Rome, you'll be more convinced later. That's coming up. You'll see all of the Roman gods as being exalted on the fresco paintings on the ceilings. George Washington sitting on the throne like he's the Most High, ascending into heaven. I mean, wild stuff. He's magnifies himself in his heart. Notice he said, "Look, hey, when I had gas, it was $1.85 in Iowa." No, he didn't answer the damn question. And then when it did boil down to it, hey, it's peanuts, whatever you're dealing with. He talks about the military. Hey, this is my military, the best military. I got this military back in 2016 in my other administration. It's ironic that I'm using it now. Yeah, all the weaponry, everything they got, that's for me. Constantly stroking his ego, constantly telling everybody, hey, look, when I go to China, Xi Jinping is going to give me a great big hug because I'm doing him a favor. And I got a great relationship with Trump, with Putin, and all of them is giving him the middle finger, laughing in his face. But you can't tell him that because he's magnifying himself in his heart. His mind, he's blowing himself up. And continuing on, it says, and by peace shall destroy many. Yes, what is he doing? We want to make a deal, but I want to kill. I want more people dead. Which is it? You're letting the small hats over there, man, wipe out Syria, Lebanon, Palestine. They over there dropping bombs with you in Operation Midnight Hammer. I mean, I'd like to see a few more dead. We're peace destroying many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken with our hand. Yeah, because Antiochus ended up dying from a vast disease that destroyed his whole body, where his body was leaking and smelling it with his foul stench. People didn't even want to be around him. Let's continue on. So he got the IRS now off his back. He can do whatever he wants. Carte blanche, man. He's doing whatever he wants. Prison to pardons. Let's read that correctly. To payouts, right? So what is it talking about? January 6th rioters are elated at Trump's $1.8 billion fund. Yeah, so he's got this particular fund that he just got lined up and is waiting for Congress to fully approve it, I believe. That this, I forgot where they labeled it. What do they call this thing? I forgot what they called it. If y'all know the name, what they named this particular fund, you could drop it in the chat just so everybody's aware. But this particular fund, man, this guy is getting ready to pay all of the January 6th rioters. They get compensation, man. For anybody that got locked up, anybody that got, lost their job for going over there and rioting for him. Now, didn't he just have his whole campaign? He was saying, I didn't do it. I tried to stop him. I didn't tell them to go do it. Now, once he gets up in there, man, they're getting rewarded for their evil. What's that going to do to the mind frame of all the diehard MAGA cult maniacs that now say, I can go out and commit mass forms of evil in the name of MAGA and Trump, and I'll get paid for it. I'll get rewarded for it. So this is how you get civil war started. This is how you get race wars cracking. Have y'all heard about that one Edomite streamer influencer Chud the Builder? Edomite running around here, rage baiting Israelites, calling them niggas and saying that they're chimping out when they get upset and start getting on him and daring them to do anything about it. He's made a living off of streaming online, going into neighborhoods and stores and public places where Jake's is at, filming them, calling them niggas and all this other stuff. And of late, he's been getting tested by Jake. Sometimes you get some of these Jakes be sitting up here laughing and playing along with him and think it's cute and funny. And then you get some Edomites who be on his head like, you racist piece of crap, get out of here. But he done ran into, a couple cats. I seen one incident he had at a gas station, and one brother had spit on him and slapped his phone out of his hand, and he threatened to call the cops on him. that, oh, I'm going to call the cops if you spit on me again. Look at you, you're chimping out. So he got spit on, didn't do nothing, and then threatened to call the cops. Then he just recently had a incident where he had an encounter with a brother. Brother didn't take too kindly to what he said. I guess altercation occurred. So the builder pulls out, shoots the Jake, and then mess around and shot himself in the arm. And now he's claiming victim. No. He's now in jail with a $1 million bond for attempted murder. It was 1.5. Now they reduced it to $1 million. Yeah, well, he ain't got it either way because he was begging some other streamer to help him pay for his bail to get him out. But this is the type of attitude that these Edomites are starting to have now. They feeling, that they can go out there and stick their chest out and agitate because now there's rewards for your evil. $1.8 billion fund, man, is getting ready to get handed over to some of the January 6ers, man, that was out there wilding out. Look at the possibility that people who ransacked the Capitol could get money from the government they attacked in the latest head-spinning twist in President Trump's effort to rewrite the history of January 6th. He's got money for that. But for those that needed a SNAP and EBT and all that, he's cutting that. Oh, Section 8. Oh, I got to cut that or reduce that. Oh, Medicare, I cut that. You dig what I'm saying? But you see where the wickedness is. And then people sitting back saying, America don't have to fall. America don't have to be destroyed. America ain't got to have a whole smoke barbecue party over here. What? This place got to go, man. Remember, it said, woe to the bloody city. Oh, no. That's the one I want. Woe to the bloody city because it's full of crime. Let me find that one real quick. Yeah, this is it. Nahum 3:1. It says, woe to the bloody city. It is full of what? Lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. Well, who's the prey? That's us. We were the ones that were preyed on. We were the ones who've been victimized over here. We're not going nowhere. We got to be delivered up out of here. Woe to the bloody city is full of lies and robbery. The prey departed not. The noise of whip and the noise of the rattling the wheels. What's the rattling the wheels? ICE, police, the charging of the horses when the conquistadors came over here, man, the cavalries, the ship, all of them things that they utilize. The noise of the whip. We know what was happening to our people when we was in them slave ships and over here and the plantations. The noise of the whip was definitely hitting Jason. For sure. To the point to where I forgot the name of the brother. Will Smith was supposed to play him in the movie. How that got shelved, I don't know. But the famous picture of the brother with all the scarring on his back from being whipped, I forgot the brother's name. If y'all remember, put it in the chat. But they've been, Trump was removing any images and any pictures of him out of museums. The noise of the whip and the noise of rattling of wheels and the prancing of horses and the jumping of chariots, this is all the activity that goes on within the warfare that America has established its place on through bloodshed, warfare, broken peace treaties, utilizing the army, utilizing his military might to subdue and break down everybody. Right? Now continuing. Let's jump back over it. Now there's rewards for it. Okay? Oh, another person done quit. So his administration is continually collapsing. Every week, somebody's quitting. Tulsi Gabbard now is out. Quits. Tulsi Gabbard quits Trump cabinet as husband battles extremely rare cancer after months of whispers. President was furious with the spy chief. Tulsi Gabbard has resigned as Donald Trump's top intelligence chief, citing her husband's recent diagnosis with a rare form of bone cancer following months of growing friction over the president's decision to launch war against Iran. She just found a way to get out, man. She pulled the parachute because she was against the Iran war, and her and Trump was butting heads anyway. So she pulled a parachute, jumped out, and said, "Man, I better quit before he fires me like he did everybody else, or people that have quit." When the top lawyers, finance lawyers quit week before that, people are just running, getting up out of there, man. As he's talking about, the Iran regime is in disarray and discord. So chalk one up again, chalk another one up for the Trump regime as they lose another one. There goes some more.
I've put it off for a little while, hopefully maybe forever.
U.S. President Donald Trump said on Monday that he had paused the planned attack on Iran.
He said it on Monday. It was announced on Tuesday. Again, another taco. Trump always chickens out. He said that he was gonna. He didn't want it. The last proposal that Iran gave him. He said he read 2 words out of it, threw it in the trash, said that's it. We're gonna bomb the hell out of him. It's over. 48 hours later, I called it off. I'm not gonna do it. Hopefully forever. I mean, this dude don't know what he wants to do, man. Double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And look at these damn drones behind him. Mark Cuban over here, Dr. Oz, JFK Jr. They forced us. He's supposed to be the damn health secretary. They forced him to eat McDonald's and all kind of crap on the damn airplane to initiate him. Shows you the type of damn balls and integrity he got. They had a picture of him sitting on a plane with him and Rubio, all them sitting up there eating his favorite food, freaking McDonald's and KFC, and they made his ass take a picture with it like he was eating it. Unbelievable.
Put it off for a little while, hopefully maybe forever.
U.S. President Donald Trump said on Monday that he had paused the planned attack on Iran after Tehran sent a new peace proposal to Washington, adding there was now a, quote, very good chance of reaching a deal limiting Iran's nuclear program.
And there seems to be a very good chance that they can work something out. If we can do that without bombing the hell out of them, I'd be very happy.
No such attack had previously been announced, and Reuters could not determine whether any preparations had been made. Speaking to reporters gathered for an unrelated announcement, Trump said leaders of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, and others had urged him to hold off. Earlier, Trump posted a similar message on Truth Social. The post came after Iran confirmed its proposal had been passed to the United States through Pakistan. A Pakistani source confirmed that claim, but suggested talks remain difficult as both sides, quote, keep changing their goalposts. A senior Iranian source said the offer focuses on ending the war, reopening the Strait of Hormuz, and lifting maritime sanctions, conditions similar to a previous proposal that Trump rejected as, quote, garbage last week. The source also said the U.S. had agreed to release part of Iran's frozen funds and allow limited nuclear activity under...
So they just basically talking about what was going on in the proposal that Iran sent. The same one that Trump said was garbage and he threw it out immediately and said, let's get cracking back with the war. And now all of a sudden, oh, we got to make a deal. They want to make a deal. You know, this guy's constantly lying. And if you notice what happened after he made that announcement, guess what happened with the stock market? Oh, everything's great on the stock market.
I put it off for a little while, hopefully maybe forever.
U.S. President Donald Trump said on Monday that he had paused the planned attack on Iran after Tehran sent a new peace proposal to Washington, adding there was now a, quote, very good chance of reaching a deal limiting Iran's nuclear program.
And there seems to be a very good chance that they can work something out. If we can do that without...
Hold on, let me get him out of here. I want to see something. Where is it at? Anyway, well, I'm trying to find a good. I get lost in these damn. Headline. See this? U.S. stock market today. Dow Jones, NASDAQ Live. Dow hits record high as Middle East hopes lift sentiment, and Warsh takes the Fed charge. So they got the new Fed chair up in there. He goes out there and throws out another taco. All of his billionaire buddies get paid. See this Middle East hopes? Yeah, it sounds like they want to make a deal. So we're gonna hold off. Run the numbers up. Now the stock market hitting record highs now. See how they's playing these games? It's all to get that money. That poly market, they back there making backdoor deals, betting on the damn war and bloodshed, stacking their paper up, and then telling you it's peanuts and this is short-term pain, long-term gain, and all these other damn goofy slogans that they coming up with. Here's the real deal. Exclusive Supreme Leader says enriched uranium must stay in Iran. Iranian sources say, period. Exclamation point. Iran says they're not giving up their enriched uranium. That's supposed to be a red line for Trump because isn't that what he's been saying? They can't have a nuclear weapon, can't have a nuclear weapon. They're saying we're not giving up the enriched uranium that could possibly make a nuclear weapon. Iran said we never said we had intentions on even making them. We need this for power, for research, for everything else, just like any other developing country, and you won't give it to us. Get the hell out of here. We got it. It's in our land. You're trying to tell us that we can't have a resource from our own land? Oh, well, you got connections with China and Russia. We know they can give you secrets of how to make a bomb, and we can't have that. They said, we're holding on to what's ours, man. Get up out of here. So the red line's been drawn, man. Notice he said he's in no rush. So we can, that short-term pain, you can forget about that. We're going to be in for a long 2026, 2027, and the foreseeable future. That's why damn that month ago, the spirit woke me up and said, hey, tell everybody prepare. As best you can. I pray everybody's doing so and following suit because it's going to get nasty. If it ain't already for you, it's going to get nasty. Most High will next month, we'll do a couple of things regarding prepping and ideas and brainstorming it, we can share with brothers and sisters, but you gotta get together. Continuing on here, Florida Keys sheriff urges calm following report that Cuban drones could hit the Key West. You see, this is the propaganda that they're doing. First, they go and they indict Raul Castro. They say, oh, he unalived some people in '96 when he bombed some peacekeepers, whatever the name of that nonprofit was. '96, oh, we're finally getting him. After you've already starved out the people, they over there on 24-hour blackouts with no oil, no power. They're starving over there. Been like that for a long time, sanctioned for years. And now they're looking to go and reoccupy and get a regime change over there too, just like they've been doing in Venezuela. But what happened in Venezuela? What happened with the regime change? What happened with the liberation of the people? They're supposed to be over there balling now with all the resources and the gold and the oil, and it's been given back to them. What's going on over there? We ain't heard jack squat. Outside of America, taking gold, taking oil, cashing in $500 million deals. We ain't heard jack squat about who's seen Maduro. I mean, send the bloodhounds out, man. Find that man because he could have been disappeared. We ain't seen or heard no arraignments, no court cases, no nothing. You would think that they would have made some announcements, shown some articles, showed some live footage of him being arraigned in court and before a judge. We ain't heard about none of this stuff. Now they're talking about that Cuba had multiple drones, hundreds of drones lined up and ready to hit America. They ready to go to war. With what? They ain't even got no damn diesel. You can't even power no damn tanks, trucks, none of that. But America gonna lay out that damn narrative. Them dirty stinking Cubans, man, they're gonna get us. It's just another day in paradise for the sheriff in the Florida Keys, despite a report about Cuba discussing plans to use drones to attack U.S. targets, including Key West. Sheriff Rick Ramsey says he wasn't told a thing and urged calm among Key's people, who are usually pretty calm about all sorts of things. So the sheriff is like, calm down, everybody. It's bullshit. Don't follow. Remember they said that California was going to get hit with drones? There was a drone attack was going to come at California. California, we got to watch out. Here they go again. They just don't stop with the same old BS. Axios reported Sunday that Cuba has acquired 300 military drones and could use them to target Guantanamo Bay, U.S. military ships in the southernmost city just 90 miles away. Cuba is completely wiped clean. You think that they got the wherewithal to take America to war? I mean, let's knock it off, man. It is no different than Maduro and them running around there blowing up damn fishing boats, talking about these were the drug mule boats, and we got to stop them because they're going to invade America. America's wicked as hell, man. But watch this. Oh, China offers full support to Cuba after Havana threatens U.S. with a bloodbath. So Cuba's got some backing that America don't want to mess with. Cuba on their own would stand no chance against America. But if you go back to the lesson that I did regarding the fatness of the earth, I covered the area where, America is its own independent island, so to speak, where it's never been invaded, only by its own, outside of it, they've had civil wars within here, but 9/11, that doesn't count. There's too much evidences of that being an inside job. But they've never been invaded, never been bombed. The way the defenses and systems are lined up, they can see things coming from the east, they can see things coming from the west, they can see things coming from the south. But the only thing that could subject them to internal, problem is in the Gulfs and over there, and also in Cuba. Cuba is a primary position, and the relationships that Cuba has with China and Russia poses a threat to America. That's why they had the Cold War and the Bay of Pigs and all that other stuff in the 50s and in the 60s, because Russia getting cozy with Cuba and the communist issues and all that other stuff. If a foreign country sets up shop in Cuba, that puts America at risk. They're in direct line. It's hundreds of miles away from Florida. That's nothing for a missile to hit. Nothing for a drone to hit. That's why they're talking about drone attacks in Florida. Oh, this is close. We got to hit them before they hit us. But there really ain't no real threat, man. They want regime change like that. But as protectors of their investments, because China, Russia, they need some resources and strategic planning to be over there with Cuba and networking with them. They just had to throw it out there. Hey, we rocking with Cuba. You better slow down over there, Agent Orange. So he's like, oh, okay, let me reassess. Because look, Russia says it too. Russia says it'll support Cuba as U.S. tightens the noose. Remember when they first cut off the oil going from Venezuela? Who was the first one that jumped up and said, let me go send them some oil? Russia. And America was like, what are you doing? Hold on. We've got sanctions over there. You can't do that. How dare you try to help them? And Putin was like, excuse me? Stay out of our business. Well, let's talk about it, Pootie. Pootie, baby, come on, let's talk about it. Come on. Pootie pie, let's talk about it, man. See? So America's gonna have problems either way. They're either gonna have to leave Cuba alone, or they can be threatened with warfare, or getting starved out some more through the military action that's going on in the Middle East, because Russia and China standing behind Iran. So now America is cornered. That's why he's running around he went over there, met with Putin, met with Xi Jinping, trying to keep his reputation clean with them. And what? He left from China, and China was like, look, the red line is Taiwan, man. We're taking Taiwan, man. You better get out the way. And what he do? He told Taiwan, we can't send you no more weapons anymore. Taiwan is over there hot right now at America because he bowed down a little bit. So we're going to see. They got him cornered on multiple fronts. And NATO is on America's heels. This is how you know, man, America is going to fall, man. They got to look. NATO allies under pressure to increase their defense as U.S. reduces its number of troops in Europe. This goes back to the narrative and to the understanding of the prophecy regarding the 10 horns and them hating the whore and all of them that's in league with them and turning their back on them against America and East. I mean, this is it. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth credited Poland for demonstrating its ability to defend its own border, hoping Poland would serve as an example for other NATO nations. So yeah, in other words, America's saying we're going to back up. You guys better increase your defense spending. Don't depend on us because guess what? We got our hands full over here, puckering up to the cheeks of the small hat GMO population and doing their bidding over there in the Middle East. Let alone we got problems over here with Cuba. We got problems Venezuela. We're trying to get Colombia, Ecuador. We got problems on the homeland. We can't be doing it all. So you guys better fend for yourself. And they like, oh, that's not the agreement. But when we started this NATO thing, man, you supposed to be over here, and you the great whore, man, that we've been sitting over here living deliciously with, drinking the wine, and now you just gonna cut us off? Hell no. So we see what Britain was getting together their 10-nation naval army. What was the 2 nations last week? I forgot the other 2, but we see what's going on. We're seeing conscription going on. Germany and other nations, they getting the draft cracking. What happened with America? America said what? They're going to be drafting, they're enlisting, I should say. Automatic enlisting at the end of the year, starting in December. Doesn't matter. They're enlisting everybody within, military age range, that is. They extended military service date to what is it, like 42 now? You up to 42 years old, they can call you back into the game. All bad. U.S. war redraws the Middle East. Turkey braces for a rivalry with Israel. So it don't stop with Iran. Don't stop with Syria. Doesn't stop with Lebanon. Small hat said we want it all. And guess what? They're going to tell Trump, get over here and help us. Or else. We got those files. We got dirt on you. You better do what we say. As he just reverse engineers it and says, Putin's going to do whatever he says. That's the famous thing. Everything that he says that they're doing or somebody else is doing, that's exactly what they're guilty of doing. He's playing, he's reverse engineering everything. And we know how Turkey plays a role in Ezekiel 38 with Gog and Magog and Tubal. Tubal and those areas, that's the areas of Turkey. And they're going to be in league with Russia. Remember, even Turkey has decided that they were going to leave the EU. Now, they're still part of NATO, but eventually they're going to side with their Muslim counterparts. And Russia's got to is going to get their back along with Iran and the other nations. So this is all par for the course. This is all part of the prophecy. Let's continue. Oh, here we go. Antivirus wasn't enough. Ebola is back. Remember they had a big old Ebola outbreak and Ebola scare back in 2015, 2014, somewhere around there? Might have been even 2016. They had patient 0 flew over here in America. It was everybody was hyped up. So the Ebola virus is back. The World Health Organization is saying that it's bad. Hold on. See, this text is all on top of each other. Let me fix it. Let me stretch this down a little bit so we can see a little bit. There you go. Look at this. Ebola outbreak in Central Africa could last months. WHO says health officials reported more than 130 suspected deaths and 540 cases in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda. The experts say the figures could be much higher. Look down here. The last outbreak in this area took 2 years to contain. Dr. Ann Ancia, a representative for the World Health Organization in Congo, said in a phone interview from Bania, the capital of Ituri province, where the first cases were identified, we hope it won't be that long, but I'm foreseeing several months. So they're already saying that this outbreak could be worse than the first, and Ebola's on the way, and be careful, and a new pandemic is on the way. Well, interesting enough, look, World Health Chief says Ebola outbreak in the Congo is spreading rapidly and upgrade risk assessment. Remember how long we've been talking about them with all of the plots and plans, everything they got in their war chest in order to bring the new digital ID system, the B system, the NWO, all of that good stuff, right? You got war, you got economic collapse, you got a virus outbreak, he's got civil war that he can, initiate any type and all types of chaos, i.e. the Hegelian dialectic. We talked about that ad nauseum. Problem, reaction, solution. You cause a problem to incite a reaction, and guess who's got the solution? The same people that started the problem. They throwing it out there. Oh, the aliens is coming. You understand what I'm saying? All of these things is all built up to create the false flags is out. I mean, you see the terrorist attacks that's going on. Oh, the mass shootings down there in San Diego. Car bomb blowing up in front of a Merrill Lynch building over there in Wall Street. They're just trying to see whatever sticks to the wall to forward the agenda. Complete digital surveillance, forced jabs in the arm, digital ID, digital monetization, 15-minute cities, universal basic income, FEMA camps, you name it. It's all on deck. Oh, guess who's had their hand in the cookie jar with this new Ebola? Oh, Bill Gates, Ebola vaccine grant, that's money, matches a deadly outbreak as FBI probe scientists smuggling pathogens from the DR Congo, right? This is from West Africa Weekly. Oh, this ain't just some old blogger writing this. This is from a West African news source that says, we've got information that Bill Gates' Ebola vaccine grant, the grant that he paid, his affiliated company paid a $26.7 million grant to Moderna and Oxford University to develop a multivalent mRNA vaccine against Ebola. This was 4 months before this new outbreak. So when you're talking mRNA, we're back talking about another biological-based nanotech type jab in the arm. Same thing that they use to fight off the vid, right? We're talking about people's DNA being affected and changing and all. Who knows what's going on with these damn demons, man? But you trying to tell me, mRNA Ebola vaccine was getting prepped up 4 months prior to this outbreak, and there's no relation to anything? And the same cast of characters and Dr. Evil Geniuses is involved? I'm not buying it. Just 4 months before the WHO declaration in January 2026, the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, or CPI, awarded $26.7 million to Moderna and Oxford universities to develop a multivalent mRNA vaccine against Ebola, specifically including the Bundibugyo strain, the same strain that somehow is spreading over there now in the Congo. Interesting. CEPI or CEPI was launched at the World Economic Forum in Davos in 2017. Very interesting because don't we have Frankenstein Fauci on record in 2017 talking about that there's going to be a virus and pandemic in 20? I don't think y'all remember. I don't think y'all remember. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Where is he at? That don't look like it. Well, he said it.
Learned and hopefully have been learned. There are really clear lessons. There are really clear lessons that needed to be learned and hopefully have been learned. If we heed those lessons and we have good corporate memory of what we did not do as well and what we could do better, the only trouble is that my experience over the decades that I've been involved with this is that corporate memory of these things sometimes wanes the way immune responses to the virus wane, and people forget.
Yeah, see, this ain't the one. But he is going to talk about we got to be prepared for the next pandemic. Here you go. This is the one I want. 2017, right? Didn't I just say that?
Given, as you heard from the introduction,
Let's see, Georgetown University. You know, Georgetown is ran and founded by Jesuits. Jesuit priests. Yeah. January 10th, 2017. There you go.
given, as you heard from the introduction, that I have been around for a while and have had the opportunity and the privilege and the pleasure of serving in 5 administrations, I thought I would bring that perspective to the topic today, is the issue of pandemic preparedness. And if there's one message that I want to leave with you today, based on my experience, and you'll see that in a moment, is that there is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak. There will be a surprise outbreak. There will be a surprise outbreak.
How do you say that? And then 2 years later, here come the COVID. How do you say that? I mean, good Lord. How do you say that? And then 9 years later, in the same time, you got another outbreak. And you say, oh, just it's happenstance. Hey, you know, we're prophets over here. Huh? What? Okay, let's double back. CEPI, or the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, was launched at the World Economic Forum in Davos in 2017, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation was one of its founding donors. Bill Gates has personally championed the coalition since its beginning. Isn't that nice? So 4 months prior to this Ebola strain jumps off, CEPI gets $26.7 million grant for them to develop an mRNA jab against Ebola in this particular Bundibugyo strain that now is plaguing the Congo. And the WHO is already out there saying that it's spreading fast and look at it, spreading rapidly, upgrades the risk assessment. You know, before you know it, they're going to be talking about somebody from the Congo landed in LaGuardia Airport in New York, and Ebola is on the plane, and they're gonna have everybody bugged out, just like they did with the hantavirus and the boat. You notice that steam done died down now, because everybody's like, not again. You fooled me once, fooled me twice, fooled me 3 times. You can't fool the fool. What what did how did George Bush do it? You fool me once, you fool me again. You can't fool me. Whatever that goofy demon said. But this is what it is. So keep your eyes peeled on this as well, y'all. Here, look at this. 3 dead and first responders rushed into a hospital after exposure to a mystery substance in New Mexico. I mean, they trying their best to get something cracking. We keep talking about a black swan event, a false flag, something to get the ball rolling for this digital B system to get some real legs and running. You seen King Charles jump off and say the digital ID is already about to, rule over there in England. China's already rolling with it. India's already rolling with it. Those are the two most populous nations in the world, and they're already on deck. They're in complete submission and subjection. Pakistan got their digital IDs rolling. Kenya got it going on. This is it. So New Mexico, all 3 are dead from a exposure to a mystery substance. And look, they got the suits on. 3 people have died and 19 others were rushed to a hospital after coming into contact with an unknown substance. Authorities were called to a home in Mountain Air, New Mexico on Wednesday to a suspected overdose involving an unidentified substance, according to New Mexico State Police. They arrived to find 4 people unresponsive inside the home, with 3 of them having since died. So who knows what they was doing, smoking, touching, fentanyl, who knows? But it's a mystery substance. You would think that if it was fentanyl, they would identify it immediately. If they're saying it's a suspected overdose, who knows what new drug they are there floating around in the hoods now? Who knows? But par for the course, right? Hantavirus, Ebola, a mystery substance now taking people out. Chemical plants going off in California and Garden Grove. Who knows what people over there is inhaling? Good Lord. And look at this maniac. I ain't done with him.
President Donald Trump appeared to change the nation's policy on Chinese student visas on Monday, announcing he is allowing a massive wave of students into the U.S.
Did you hear that? As much as he's been sitting up here talking about America first and America white again, all this other stuff, now he's doubling back, saying he's going to open up the door for 600,000 Chinese students to come over here. Forget about DACA, and all of the, the 10 tribe and the immigrant children that were born of migrants, and now that they were in school and everything else, they were protected under Obama. He was rounding them up, booting them up out. Black, brown, get the hell out. But, we've seen in the scriptures the relationship with Moab, Ammon, and Esau, man, they always been clicking their heels together. So it's no surprise that he's going to sit back and try to, roll out the red carpet for Moab to come over here. 600,000 he about to open up the doors to.
Shift from a policy Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced in May that said the U.S. is revoking visas from Chinese students.
I hear so many stories about we're not going to allow their students, or we're going to allow their students to come in. We're going to allow, it's very important, 600,000 students.
U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick told Fox News' Laura Ingraham Monday that Trump sought for the students to help the 15% of colleges who would face closures without a boost in attendance. Trump has not detailed.
So he said he's trying to help the colleges who are going to close. So in order to boost the attendance, I guess he couldn't, fund some more monies into, the inner cities to help influence blacks and Hispanics to get off of the streets, stop joining the gangs, go pursue a career, go pursue an education, go pursue a trade, instead of school to prison pipeline. He's invested in prison industrial complexes, getting Jakes locked up, getting money. I guess he can't find those students. Ain't everybody in America is already successful? Everybody's already running the school. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a proponent of college per se. Like, if it's a trade school, okay, cool. The college system is a complete sham. It's bogus. And you ain't doing nothing but stacking up debt to get a degree that probably ain't going to be worth nothing by the time you get out. And you're not guaranteed no position for your... I used to work with people when I was young, working at customer service out answering phones. I was working with people with master's degrees, and they on the phones saying, customer service, how can I help you? I'm like, don't you got a degree? I can't find no work. I'm trying to get somebody in. Like, no. And then you get out and you got the $200,000 in debt. Good luck trying to get your life in order. That's a whole nother thing. Anyway, Trump allowed 600,000 Chinese students. He said he's trying to help the colleges. But I guess there was nobody here that he could have got some enrollment going on.
How or if the visas would be allocated. The president's announcement drew sharp criticism from some of his closest allies, like Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. She wrote on X that, quote, if refusing to allow these Chinese students to attend our schools causes 15% of them to fail, then these schools should fail anyways because they are being propped up by the CCP. Trump noted that relations between the U.S. and China have improved since the Biden administration, warranting a new economic approach.
We have a very strong relationship, Howard, I would say, economically with China now, getting much better.
Trump has threatened to impose a 200% tariff on imports from China, but has suspended the levy until at least November. For Straight Arrow News, I'm Kaylee Carey. Find the full story right now on SAN.com or by downloading the Straight Arrow News mobile app today.
Yeah, so I'm not buying that. Look at this. Chinese spies. They saying we're going to let them in. We're going to let them in. America's got so much problem with damn Chinese spies, it's not even funny. Chinese spies have infiltrated. They got busted at high levels at the police stations in New York. One of them was a mayor up north. They got busted over near a military base over here in the West Coast. They then got busted having their own little damn laboratories, illegal laboratories getting built up over here, man, building up, and had the COVID strain in there and all kind of stuff. And he's saying, yeah, let them in. Let them in. Chinese spies have been involved in numerous espionage activities in the United States, with 224 reported instances from 2000 to 2023. These activities include theft of military technology, trade secrets, and cyber intrusions targeting U.S. businesses and government agencies. Yeah, these little thirsty white men, after the little geisha girls, man, were getting caught in honey traps and giving off trade secrets, all kind of madness. And he's sitting back saying, let them in. But get rid of them brown people. Get rid of them niggas. Get rid of them. ICE hunt them down. Remember what happened when they had the ICE raid down there in Georgia and they rounded up all them Koreans? Hey man, they got their butts right back over on the plane and sent them right back over here. With Trump and them all apologizing, and the South Korean president was like, hey, what you doing? We had a deal. We're supposed to be off limits. We got the EV plant building the batteries down there, and you done had a raid and got $500. Take that back. You ain't heard since about no damn Moabites getting harassed or touched by ICE since then. So the game is rigged. Look at this. Trump moves to admit 10,000 more white South Africans as refugees. And I played the video of a CBS, I think it was 60 Minutes, when they went over there and was interviewing the white farmers over there, the Afrikaners in South Africa. They was like, nah, we're not getting killed over there because we're white. It was like black farmers is over here getting robbed too. It's just part of the economics. Crime goes on. It ain't like America saying, but so be it, whatever. Y'all remember that? And Trump is over there acting like I gotta be Superman. I'm the savior. I am God. I'm gonna go ahead on and save these poor white folks over here from getting slaughtered by the dirty, stinking Africans over there, who's slaughtering them and stealing their land. Sound familiar? Maybe you should talk to the Native Americans that's stuck on reservations right now and see how they will react to this. One of the first couples that came over here, man, the dude got locked up for unaliving his wife months after they touched down in the States. And he's talking about the damn 10 tribe. Oh, there's nothing but murderers and drug dealers and thieves and rapists over there. What? Okay. So 600,000 Moabites is coming, 10,000 more damn Edomites from South Africa is coming. Trump administration argues that an emergency refugee situation in South Africa merits of bringing more Afrikaners to America at the cost of some $100 million. More taxes for you and I to pay because they ain't got it. Where else they gonna get the money from? So making America white again, making it more plausible for the heathen. But we getting pushed out, kicked out, stomped on, locked up, detained. And people say, God bless America. Okay. Let's see how God blessed America then.
Evet arkadaşlar, Boğa'nın önündeyiz.
Oh. Hey, get your ass out of there.
Evet arkadaşlar,
Boğa'nın
önündeyiz.
That should tell you something about how people is feeling about. Now they said this is under investigation. I don't, I seen this a couple days ago. I don't know what's developed since then, what they came out with this, but at the time when I seen this, they said it was being investigated as a possible terrorist attack. They don't know what happened. They just said a car caught fire and blew up ironically, in front of the Merrill Lynch building, where the charging bull, which is pretty much the idol of Egypt, the bull Apis, the god Apis, the bull god, which is what the children of Israel was replicating when they made the golden calf in the wilderness. Sure y'all have seen.
Evet arkadaşlar, Boğa'nın önündeyiz.
Everybody want to go get a little flick. But when that mug start really flaming up, they got the heck up out of there. You see this? Of course, this is a little AI image or whatever. But this is what children of Israel were threatening and told Aaron to make them a golden calf because they wanted to get back into worshiping Egyptian deities. What's the name of that? Merrill. Now you see this? This the same one where the card blew up. You see the parallels, and then you see when America says that this is what? Spiritual Egypt in Revelation 11. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and what? Egypt. Why? Because America does take after Egypt. Pyramids on the back of the dollar bill. Egypt representing bondage and captivity. Same place that the children of Israel spent over 400 years of their bondage and their captivity. 430 to be exact, according to the scriptures. How long we been over here? Longer than 400 years, right? If we date all the way back to the 10 tribes being over here and whatnot, man, it's been well over 500, 600 years. Collectively started 14, collectively, Judah and, the Northern Kingdom, Southern and Northern, we could date it around 1619, maybe a little bit earlier. But nonetheless, 400 plus years, but we still see the symbolism still being around. There's Apis right there. And the Most High had to set that thing on flames. So, you see what's
Planned
going on.
Parenthood affiliates of California are fighting to elect Javier Becerra for governor because Becerra has...
Evet arkadaşlar, Boğa'nın önündeyiz. Evet arkadaşlar, Boğa'nın önündeyiz.
Yeah, they get their butts up out of there, idol watching and all of that. Another day in America, another day in Babylon, another day in Egypt. Here goes another, with the other, terrorist attack. Two young cats, man. I think one was an Edomite, one I think was 10 tribe. But this guy, man, he looks like he's trans. When I first seen the picture, I was like, man, another tranny? They're not identifying with him as trans, but he looks a little sweet, man. What happened with the little dude? San Diego mass shooter Kane Clark identified as a former high school wrestler. The only part that I took out of this particular article, and I haven't done any more deep diving on this because it's not really, worth it at this point. But when you see right here in this article, it says the mom allegedly believed her son was suicidal and shared that several of her weapons were missing, as was her vehicle, according to police. If you have knowledge that your son is suicidal, depressed, whatever the case may be, why would you have multiple weapons accessible in your house? That's the first question I asked. The mama knew he was suicidal, quote unquote suicidal, and her guns is missing and the car. And then she goes and notifies the police. Hey, my son's suicidal. My weapons are missing. I don't know what he's going to do. She should be held in contempt as well. Same way that mother down in Orange County that got hit up with manslaughter because her son was riding around them e-bikes and hit an old man and killed him after she was told he can't ride that bike no more. How are you gonna have multiple weapons around the house? You don't think he's gonna get a hold of me? He's suicidal? I mean, come on, man. That didn't make no sense to me. But anyway, they live streamed it. I haven't seen the video. I don't know if y'all have, but they live streamed it. Very similar to the mosque shooting that happened over in New Zealand some years back. If y'all remember that, the little Edomite ran up in the mosque, he live streamed that. So, the one of the 10 tribe mama, if he was 10 tribe, I know he had a Hispanic name, saying that, he got brainwashed from watching content online, and they was connecting it with the 9/11 shooter, 9/11 situation and October 7th. And, these guys are just, kids that got caught up on the internet. Believe that if you want to, But some of these patterns, man, is just very odd that we see things panning out the way that they did. They found a gas can with the lightning bolts with for the Nazis. It's like, come on, man. Didn't they have something similar? What was that other shooting they had? Was a little group, like 5 of them. They ended up taking pictures of their campsite, and all kind of evidence was left that they just happened to get pictures of. One of the dudes is supposedly Hispanic. Why would he have anything to do with some damn white supremacist lightning bolts on a gas can? I don't know, man. It's just ridiculous. But nonetheless, here you go. When you're dealing with guys with their mental problems and psychological issues, and somebody walks up to you and tells you, hey, you can be a hero for your country, and I know you want to die anyway. We need you to do this. Don't worry. There's blanks in the gun. It's not going to go off, and you guys are going to be heroes. Like, the type of foolishness that these guys be falling for or being set up, who knows, Here's the chemical plant.
Planned Parenthood affiliates of California are fighting to elect Javier Becerra for governor because Becerra.
And we are also following this news out of California very closely. We're learning that more evacuations are now being reordered around Garden Grove, California, about 20 minutes from Anaheim. So there's the map. Orange County is what we're talking about. After a chemical leak started yesterday at an air.
20 minutes from Anaheim. Anaheim is where Disneyland is, and Knott's Berry Farm, and tourist attractions.
Aerospace manufacturing facility. So we have a live shot of that plant here. First responders say that they were able to get the leak under control, but the situation is still very volatile because of a damaged valve on one of the tanks, with some calling this a ticking time bomb. NBC's Dana Griffin in LA for us right now. Dana, we just got an update on the situation. What did you hear from firefighters?
And didn't last weekend the water plant over in Alabama? Oh, they found the IED. Oh, the water supply almost got blew up over there. Chemical plant over here. All of these refineries catching fire, blowing up. I mean, this don't stop, man. They are setting up something big. It's just which one's gonna crack, which one's gonna get everybody's attention. Is it gonna be the virus? Is it gonna be, some false flag bombing, some terrorist attack? Like, just keep your eyes peeled, man. The spirit is already kind of dictating it. You kind of see all these things bubbling up, incident after incident, man. The scriptures talk about the birthing pains of a woman being in travail, and how there's parallels with the downfall of Babylon in America and all of that. Like, you see all these things constantly happening every week, ticking time bomb. So we don't even know what medical issues anybody could develop after this particular situation. They're saying they had to re-evacuate people because earlier they said, okay, we got everything good, call out the evacuation, everybody can go back home now. Then they said, oh, get out of there again. We don't know.
So, Tom, officials say that this is not precautionary. This tank is going to fail. They just don't know when. So inside this tank, it's a chemical called methyl crylate, or MMA. It's used in plastics manufacturing. Right now, they have ordered 40,000 people in Garden Grove to evacuate. They say about 15% have not done so, or only there's a 15% refusal rate. And officials say this is the reason why they want people out of there, because it is very dangerous.
So at least 15% basically telling them we got nowhere to go. Can you imagine? This is what I say. You never know. Have a little bug out bag in your car, bug out bag in the house for you, your family, whatnot. Because if you got to book up and go, get up out of there. Because who knows what out here we dealing with earthquakes, fires, with the refinery plants blowing up, all kind of foolishness jumping off. They tell you got to get up out the spot. You might have to run. But some people are just like, man, I'm not leaving. It's my house. I'm not evacuating. I'm not falling for the okie doke. Some people go down with the ship. When the fires was hitting up there in Pasadena, there was a few families that was like, we ain't going nowhere, and using water hoses and everything else, trying to batten down the flames and reduce the smoke. Others was like, man, the hell with it. You can. The house is gone. I'm out of here. So you never know when you have to make a move. So these are the other reasons why we say, just be prepared. Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. 40,000 people had to get up out of Dodge. Where are they going to place these people? Where are they going? 40,000 people ain't got family or places they can go to. You damn sure not going to no shelters and all that. They jammed up with homeless and dope fiends and everything else. And the women's shelters and all that, they jam packed. 40,000 people, man, had to get up out of there.
Videos of tank cars on a railroad track blowing up, and that fireball it puts out, and it blows half the tank car half a mile down the train track. That's the incident potential we are dealing with if this suffers a catastrophic failure. That's why, in an abundance of caution, we have reissued the evacuation.
They're saying if. Now, she's the other saying they told her it's not an if, it's when.
Look at that tank. It carries up to 7,000 gallons of this toxic, flammable chemical. And there's two options here. It's going to leak or it is going to blow up. That is the only two things that could happen at this point, according to officials. Even the mayor saying that they know people are frightened and that this is a scary situation, but the priority is saving lives. That's why they want people in that evacuation zone to leave immediately. If they can get you back in, they say they will do so only when it's safe. Tom?
So, but you hear the contradiction. How is this safe? They said it's either going to continually leak or it's going to blow. So that whole city of Garden Grove and probably extended areas, because who knows with the trade winds, get the blowing the chemical. who knows where this thing gonna go? You talking about 40,000 people completely displaced? Uh, you always have to wonder that it could be completely accidental or, a mishap from the machinery that happened. Very possible. But after we seen what happened with the fires in Malibu and Altadena and all of that, and how, there's land grabs going on from the city and, government people coming in and monopolizing and taking over the land now and restricting people from rebuilding, and the permits now are damn near impossible for people to get to rebuild. And you can't help but say it's another land grab for them to, build up and establish another 15-minute city and everything else. And now Garden Grove, which is a nice suburb, they take that whole thing out. Tell everybody, get out, you can't come back. It's toxic, it's hazardous. Meanwhile, they go in there, clean it up, and take it back over. I mean, who knows? But again, it could be completely coincidental. The leak happened, and circumstances fell in line where everybody got to go. But according to this news report, they told her it's either going to keep leaking or it's going to blow. So when is it ever going to be safe for them to go back without risking their health and Lord knows whatever else?
And fire.
Before we leave, look at it. Meta is laying off 8,000 people worldwide. So Mark Zuckerberg is having problems over there, or AI is just, replacing many of these people. I think it's more of the latter. He definitely ain't going broke. He ain't having no financial issues. AI is now replacing all of these people's jobs. Meta is connected with WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and you see how much AI driven content and stuff is going on all these particular platforms now. People are being expendable. Kroger, are they engaging in Uber style surge pricing? That's what these senators want to find out. Long story short, they're saying that Kroger now is under investigation and been looked at as them doing price surging, where they're digitally changing the prices on their food at random. At random. Look at this. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren and Pennsylvania Senator Bob Casey announced their investigation of one major U.S. grocery store chain and its potential use of surge pricing. On August 7th, Warren released a statement explaining she and Casey sent a letter to the chairman and CEO of Kroger Company, Rodney McMullen, in which they raised concerns over Kroger's use of electronic shelving labels to surge grocery prices and exploit consumers. So in other words, through digital and electronic shelving, they can automatically change the prices at random. You can go over there and look at a price online. I mean, a price in at 1 minute in the aisle, and it's $7.99 for something. And that 2 hours later, somebody come in and it says that it's $8.30. They got the cameras that they're watching. Not only are they watching for quote unquote theft, but they in there really watching your biometrics, your spending habits. It's collecting all this particular data. I got another article. I'm gonna do just a special one just on that alone. How the grocery stores utilizing surveillance, the rewards cards, all that other stuff is all data collecting. They're checking your spending habits. They're checking your they're checking what you're buying. Now they're using facial recognition. They're using all of this stuff, man, to create this whole digital database about what you buying, what you doing, what sales you're using your rewards cards for, spamming your email with all kind of folly with some more digital trap doors for you to walk into. It's wicked, man. So Kroger, they getting busted over here changing their prices digitally at will, as if the food prices already ain't enough. Look at this. ESLs, which display store pricing under individual items, could allow companies to engage in dynamic pricing, changing the prices of goods based on temporary factors such as at the time of day or the weather. The senators wrote in their release, by updating price tags with a simple click of a button, corporations can price gouge suddenly raising the consumer costs at times when certain products are in highest demand. So they're going to, or have been, at least Kroger now is being accused of price gouging and digitally manipulating prices in their food. This place is over with, man. Wicked as ever. Walmart issues worse than expected outlook as high gas prices hit shoppers. Shares dropped 7%. The Walmart family, and everybody and their mama loves some Walmart. They're saying that they're getting worse than expected outlook in regards to their profits. So Walmart's sales are down. Why? Because people can't afford them damn prices. People can't afford the food. Them grocery lists now is getting smaller and smaller. Necessities now is becoming more of a matter of financing. They had a report about credit card delinquencies is up, all-time highs and whatnot, and they were saying that through the report they were looking at people's spending habits, and they said, man, people are only buying the essentials. The buy now pay later situations is up, and people are going in debt just to buy basic necessities, man. Toilet paper, gas, food for the week, whatever the case may be. You understand? It ain't no extravagant, they ran up the credit card because they went on vacation, because they went to Vegas. No. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's where we are right now. So with that being said, y'all already know. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, White House, man. Prayerfully, everybody got some edification tonight, man. Stay focused, stay locked in. You understand what I'm saying? Occupy your minds and meditate therein day and night regarding the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Let Him direct your path, but we damn sure gonna need some real guidance, because the path that's been laid out for us right now is death, traps, and wickedness. All right. Stay in the spirit, y'all. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, White House. Always remember, fear the Most High, keep the commandments. Lastly, don't shoot the messenger. See y'all tomorrow, Most High permit. Man, we got closing Shabbat class around 4:15 Pacific Standard Time, man. Tune in, join us then. Until then,